Hi, my name is Pascal. I'm a movie director from Montreal, Canada, and today we're going to talk about my new feature film, April Skies.
Hlustaðu á mig. Opnaðu hjartað þitt og reyndu að skilja það sem ég skrifaði. Ég verð alltaf hluta þess. Alltaf hjá þess.
Je suis atteinte de mucoviscidose. Il me reste un peu moins de 2 ans à vivre.
Jag såg honom i Paris. Han varnar mig. Att om du är otacksam mot dina medmänniskor så blir följden också därefter. Síðasta minningin þig ekki þegar þú fórst, heldur hljóðin frá ströndinni. Vindurinn að berja á öldunum.
J'en ai marre d'être la fille parfaite, qui agit toujours bien, c'est jamais assez suffisant. C'est jamais assez, c'est jamais assez. J'en ai marre.
Directing April Skies was such a pleasure to create, but one of the most daunting things is that everything was done without a crew, under $10,000. The budget was $7,000, but when you watch the film, you have no idea that it was done like that, and that's kind of been my signature for years now, for 20 years. And on the indie flicks right now, you can see my first 3 feature film, and since then I shot 5 new feature film in 1.5 years. And the trick, that's it, I don't have a crew except a sound person, so I do all aspects, from writing the script, from finding the money, finding the actors, costume, designing, location, all of it, you know, editing, music, color grading, I do all aspects. So it's a lot of work, and it's all about, because that's the thing now on YouTube, you can find anything, you can find any kind of tutorial about how to make films. But the tricky part is to be able to achieve the goal from writing it all the way to finishing it. And this one, the challenge was to shoot it in Iceland, Paris, and Sweden, in 3 different languages, 3 different countries, 3 stories all intertwined to one main story at the end. And yeah, it was a challenge, but at the same time, one of the toughest part was, when you're alone, you cannot rely on anybody. It's all on your shoulder, and so it is one of the toughest mental challenge, because that's the thing. There's no cheerleaders waiting for you, taking care of you. You have to drive the actors. You have to feed the actors. You have to travel to places you've never been before, places you just saw pictures online, and so it's all about instinct. That's one of the most important part. So the challenge is that when it's time for 3 in the morning to leave the apartment, you go to the airport alone, you know all the task is going to be to just make a film alone. So you need to have so much confidence in yourself. You need to trust your instinct. That's one of the most important part of filmmaking, at least in that style, is that it's all about instinct. You cannot doubt yourself. Even if you freak out, you have to just calm yourself, and you just think about the scene. You don't have to think about the whole film, you just go one scene at a time, you know, because in the end, when you arrive there, everyone looks at you as just like, what's up, you know, what are you gonna do? Because everything is gonna go wrong, and the fact that you don't have a crew, that you cannot rely on anybody, there's no lights, everything is raw, and the real element is just gimbal, camera, sound person, and that's it, you know. It's just so you deal with the weather, you deal with the forecast of, is it raining, is it snowing, is it the wind was crazy, or whatever. You deal with all of it. And one thing also is that when you're doing all of this alone, it is one of the loneliest process that you can go in, because you don't, that's the thing, like I said, you can't rely on people. You save so much money, and because of that, you're able to make multiple films around the world. You can try things, you can experiment. There's no risk, because like I said, this film was $7,000, but when you watch the film, you have no idea. It looks like it was shot, you know, for $500,000, $1 million. And that's kind of the trick of it, is always to find location, things that look so spectacular, but that you can have for free. One of the joy of making April Skies was to find amazing actors that you know you're gonna collaborate, who really understand your vision. But the challenging part, because I wrote the film in 3 different languages, Icelandic, Swedish, and French. French, it's easy because I speak French, but to direct other actors, the trick was we have to stick to the script. So before every scene, we took the time to go 1 page at a time. We go through the dialogue and we make sure that we don't change what's on the page, because after that, when I'm back home editing, if everyone improv, I'm screwed. So it was not possible. So France, it was easier because I understand, so we could improv. But for the rest, we make sure that everything is on the page first. We tweak it, we change it, does it make sense? And if it doesn't, then we tweak it, and then once we all agreed on this is what we're gonna shoot for that page, that's it. We stick to it, we don't change it. It's like music. When you direct actors, it goes back to you have to trust your instinct. And so when you hear actors talking to you or doing the scenes, you just listen. It's musical, you know what I mean? Just the tone that goes up and down, and it's like a song. You trust them that they're gonna say amazing thing, and they're saying the right thing. That's the thing. Trust is absolutely crucial. But yeah, it's really musical. That how everyone phrased the sentence, take the beats, and yeah, in the end, you just have to trust that your instinct of just, okay, cool, you gave the right performance for the right sentence or the scene, and I understand the motivation behind it, and it worked. So yeah, trusting your gut and trusting your actors that they're gonna be professional and having your back. And then after that is just to listen, pay attention, and really listen to the musicality of those words, because that's the only thing you can do unless you speak Icelandic and Swedish, which I didn't. For me, it was, I hate depending on people. I love when it's fast. I hate when you have to wait for people. And, you know, I love when things go fast and, you know, you just rely on yourself. Because the more people you have, the more expensive it is. For me, it was okay, let's shoot always natural lighting, 1 camera, 1 sound person, and then you find location where it's stunning. It looks beautiful when you shoot in Iceland. Every corner of the place is just stunning. So, and it costs nothing to shoot outside. Same thing for Paris. And the place for Sweden that I've used in the Sweden story was a beautiful Airbnb. Everything was chosen connecting to the story, and everything has to, of course, have a certain cachet. But the goal is just you use everything natural around you, and after that you need to use you know, your best ability to create the best vision of what you have in front of you. The camera doesn't matter. I sold all my red camera and everything. This one was shot on a Fuji X-T3 back then, but when you look at the result, you have no idea that it was shot like that. So I would say that focus on the tool that you have, the location that you have, find amazing actors that look like star, find location that looks like $1 million. And after that is just with your camera, with your tool, find ways, camera angles, different style that's gonna make the audience engage into the storytelling that you have. So yeah, it's just how to make things interesting. But the fact that you have no one on set except a sound person, you move so fast, you don't have to wait. So you're not thinking about the creativity, you're about the technicality, you're thinking about the creativity. And that's one of the crucial part, because you move fast, because you have more time to just play with the scene. For example, an example in the scene where in Sweden, the shot in the elevator, we see in the trailer too, it was a long shot going from the 5th floor all the way down. It was not in the script, but when I saw that, because we had the time, I said, cool guys, give me 3 takes. I'm gonna go from all the way up, you're gonna go into the elevator, go all the way down, and you're gonna exit at the same time as arriving in front of you. And we did it, and I think it's one of the coolest shots in the film. So the point is that you need to have time to experiment, to try, and not be rushed by, we have to shoot it, you know what I mean? So just have the minimum that you need so that you can be as effective as you can be. Yeah, cinema has always been something that I love doing. It's the only thing I know. I hate sports. I got kicked out of 3 schools in high school because I hated sports. The only thing I was doing was going to the video store, watching movies, and yeah, that's the only thing I was doing, watching movies every day, 80s movies. So that's where when you watch my films, it's really 80s oriented. But yeah, there was never a plan B. And look, I'm 41 years old right now, and there's no plan B. You have to stick to it. It's been 25 years I've been doing this, and now I feel it's starting to get somewhere, you know. It takes time, but now the difference is that the technology changes. It makes everything easier. Back then I was just like right now I got a new Sony with the autofocus. It's just amazing. That's been life-changing for me, because before, like, I shot 3 or 4 film with the Blackmagic, and you have to do manual focus all the time, and it's just a pain, because with my style, I love when the camera spin everywhere. I call it a spinner, and you know, you go all over the place, but you have to manually focus. It was a nightmare. I was spending more time thinking about the focus instead of thinking about the actual scene. So when the new camera came out and the autofocus is just amazing, it changed my life. I was just like, it makes everything so easy. Like right now I can just move and just like it focus on me perfectly. So it's a life changer. What I love the most about directing, it's the idea. When you have an idea and it's like, oh shit, that can be cool. I want to do that. I want to go try and do that. Oh, 3 stories in different countries, whatever. Like I did, after that I did one in Spain. I did a whodunit in Berlin. Each film is something different, and when you have an idea, you can really go and experiment and try things completely different, and that's the fun of it. Writing is the worst part. That's what I hate the most. But one of the tips I can give you guys for writing, because I wrote 8 feature film during COVID, and why? It's because no matter what, you sit down, you write 5 pages a day. Good, bad, ugly, it doesn't matter. 5 pages a day, you don't get up until you have your 5 pages. After 3 weeks, you have a feature film. The team, the core of the team that I love to execute is always toxic relationship. It's been something that, I don't know, I love, I've craved. I've went to university in psychoanalysis for 7 years. It's been something, the relationship between human beings is something that I love the most. And I'm trying to always bring it into my film. But yeah, toxic relationship, there's something good and beautiful and melancholy about, you know, people who love sometimes too much, and because of that, they just kill each other almost. So yeah, there's just something poetic about it. So thank you for watching this quick interview. Just go enjoy April Skies, learn from it, analyze it, destroy it, whatever. But the point is that if I can do it for under $7,000, you can do it too. It's all about passion, dedication, and drive. So no more excuse. Take that camera, write something cool, and go do it. Thanks.